Hi, I'm Chef Raphael. Today I'm going to show you how to make crepes with caramelized bananas. And this is how it looks. It's a dessert that you can enjoy any time of the day, either after a meal or even as a snack. In this recipe, you'll learn how to make the crepes, which are actually the thin pancakes, and even how to caramelize the bananas, which is cooking them in some margarine and sugar. I hope you learned something. Let's get started. So the show is all about bringing cooking back and basically to make you a better home cook. Now for today's recipe for the crepes, we need all-purpose flour, 2 eggs, some sugar, milk, vanilla essence. This is optional but gives that vanilla flavor. And also now to make it into a dessert option, we can add some bananas. When I'm using 2 eggs, and this is about 200 ml of milk. For the sugar, I'll add 3 tablespoons. So the first thing is to mix the sugar, eggs, and milk. Now to this is what I'll add the flour. So I'll first put about 100 grams and then mix. So the idea when you're doing this is that you need a light consistency. You need to use a whisk as opposed to using a fork, because a fork will not give you a smooth consistency when it comes to the crepes mix. But you can also do this in a blender, and if you notice that the mixture is too thick, all you need to do is add more milk. Now if it's too light, it's lighter than whatever you like this, just add a little bit more of the flour. One thing I haven't added, like I said, is the vanilla. Again, I said it's optional. So when it comes to the cooking process, it's all about the pan. Now I'm using a non-stick pan, and I think a non-stick pan gives you better results, especially when you're working with crepes. Now you can either use cooking oil, but margarine actually gives it more flavor than using just regular oil. So what I need to do is put a little bit of about a teaspoon of the margarine. So when it's nice and melted, we add the crepes mix. So the first one is tricky. You have to figure out how much to put. So, and then at this stage is when you make it spread. The idea is to spread it to have a thin layer, and then back to the fire, and then you use a medium heat. I'm waiting for it to brown, and how you know it's browned, nice and browned, is you check the sides. When the sides are already browned and crispy, it will be ready. Personally, I like it nice and crispy like this. And then for the second side, because it's a very thin layer, it doesn't take as long as the first side to cook. It's ready to flip on this side. This is what you just want to see. Evenly browned, not as much as the first side. Have them plain as they are, but if you want to make a dessert, now for the bananas, what you will need is some sugar, margarine or butter, but right now I'm going to use the vanilla flavored margarine that I have here, because again it's a dessert, so you want something sweet. So the first thing is to melt about a teaspoon of, for this I have 2 bananas cut, and then I'll add about a tablespoon of sugar, The idea is to let it melt first, basically become like caramel. And then when it's all liquid, I'll add the bananas, caramelize them. And the banana I have is not, it's actually ripe, but not the very ripe ones. So I've already turned off the heat because I don't want it to cook too much. So you see they are nice and brown. And now we'll put it all together. They're almost paper thin and light like this. So how you actually do it is place it flat, then using your spoon, take a few pieces of the banana like that, and then fold it over and again like that to form a pocket like that. You can even serve it with some yogurt, or you can just serve it plain, just sprinkle some icing sugar on top. So that's our recipe for today: crepes with bananas, caramelized bananas. And I hope you've learned something. I've been your host, Chef Raphael. Again, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you get notified every time I have a new recipe out. I have a cooking show and a baking show every Thursday, and every Tuesday I have a new episode of a cooking show. So until next time, goodbye.